Okay, so now let's do the next question. Find the current and voltage across the 2 ohm resistor. Okay, so here in this question, the only thing different is the presence of this current source. The 6 ampere current source is over here. Okay, so this I just want to tell you what will happen if a current source comes on the side of the circuit. Okay, if it comes on any of this side or branch of the circuit. Okay, so as usual what we do in this question is this is mesh analysis, right? So I will mark the three meshes. I will mark the three different currents. I1, this is mesh 2, and this is current I2, and this is mesh 3, and this is current I3. Okay, as usual, right? So one thing you need to understand is that since you know the mesh currents, so you know the variable of all the mesh currents, so you can tell or you can predict the various name of the current across any branch. For example, in this branch the current is I1, right? In this branch also the current is I1. In this branch also the current is I1. In this branch the current is I1 minus I2 or I2 minus I1, depending on the direction of the current. And likewise, in this mesh, in this branch the current is I2. In this branch also the current is I2, whereas in this branch it can either be I2 minus I3 or I3 minus I2, depending on the direction of the current, right? And likewise, if you take in this mesh also, right? If you take in this mesh, then the current in this branch is I3, the current through this branch is also I3, right? And the current in this branch is also I3, which means if you know the mesh currents, then you can predict or you can say with confidence the current across any branch. And if you know the current, and of course if you know the voltage. So if you look at this question, the question is find the current and voltage across the 2 ohm resistor. So here this is the 2 ohm resistor, and they are saying to find the current and voltage. So the current across the 2 ohm resistor is I3, right? I3, and the voltage across the 2 ohm resistor is I into R. R is 2 ohm, so I3 into 2 is the voltage across the 2 ohm resistor. So all you need to do in this question is to find the value of I3, right? That's the question is, right? So now what happens if a current source comes into the circuit, and this current source should be on the side branch, all right, of the circuit. So in that case, let me write the equation for mesh 1. Okay, equation for mesh 1. Okay, so now I'm going to write the equation for mesh 1, and you will see this is mesh 1 means I need to find the equation of I1, right? Which means I1 is positive and the rest of the current is negative, so on so forth. But here, since I already told you that the current through this branch is I1, and according to your circuit there is already a current source which is supplying 6 ampere current, means in this branch you are assuming that there is a current called I1. You are assuming that there is a current called I1, and according to the question, in this same branch itself there is a current called as 6 ampere. That means in the same branch it is flowing I1, and the same branch it is 6 amperes, which means according to common sense, this is nothing but it represents that the value of I1 is directly nothing but 6 amperes. This is the equation of mesh 1, right? See, what is the purpose of writing the mesh analysis? What is the purpose of writing the mesh equations? The purpose is to find the value of I1, I2 and I3, right? Because once if you know the value of I1, I2 and I3, then you can find the value of almost of any parameters in the network. You can find the current or you can find the voltage across any device in the circuit. Once if you know all the mesh currents, right? So here the mesh current is already given because you have already assumed that the current in this branch is I1, right? And according to the question, there is already a 6 ampere source. And if there is a 6 ampere source, which means this current will supply 6 amperes, and that 6 amperes and this 6 amperes will get distributed throughout this entire network, and then it will come back in the same value as 6 amperes, which means 6 amperes will leave the current source and the same 6 amperes will enter the current source, and according to your hypothesis, this current name is also called as I1, or in other words, I1 is nothing but 6 amperes, right? That is how we write the equation. So this is not Kirchhoff's voltage law. This is simply writing the equation of your current, since there is a current source. So if you now you should understand that if you see a circuit in which there is a current source at the side of the circuit, immediately you should do that problem in the exam, because that question will be very easy, because already one of the current value is already given. You see, so if this 6 ampere was over here, it is I1 is equal to 6. If the 6 ampere was over here in this branch, then that is also I1 is equal to 6. If the 6 ampere current source was over here, then the equation would have been I2 is equal to 6. If that 6 amperes was over here, then it would have been I3 is equal to 6. If that 6 ampere was somewhere over here also, it would have been I3 is equal to 6. If that 6 ampere was somewhere over here, then it is I2 is equal to 6. You see, the reason is because on that particular branch only that particular current flows. That is why you can only apply this technique if this current source is only on the side of it's already on the side branches of the circuit, either here or here or here, 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 and here. You see, only on the side. It should not be between two meshes. Then that will change the concept. That concept is called as super mesh, which you will be learning afterwards. Super mesh. But this current source is only on the side of the mesh. So in that case, then the circuit becomes more simpler, and all you need to do is simply write the value of that particular current. That's all. Very easy, right? So now I'm going to write the equation for mesh 2. So the equation of mesh 2 is, here I2 is positive and the remaining currents are considered as negative. So which means current I1 touches only here. Here there's also a voltage source, right? 36 volt. Okay. So here the current I1 is touching this 12 ohm resistor, right, in this mesh. So which means it is minus 12 I1. Okay. And what about I2? I2 is touching this 12 ohm and this 6 ohm, which means 12 plus 6 18. So plus 18 I2. Okay. And what about this I3? Well, this I3 is touching this 6 ohm resistor, so it will become minus 6 I3 is equal to, now it's time for the voltage source. And if you look at this voltage source, this I2 is flowing in this direction, right, clockwise direction, and this positive terminal is supplying I2, right? This positive terminal is supplying I2, which means, or supporting I2, therefore it is plus 36. This is the equation. Okay, so now we already know the value of I1 is 6, right? So this becomes 12 into 6 is minus, it's because minus 72. So this is minus 72 plus 18 I2 minus 6 I3 is equal to 36, or in other words 18 I2 minus 6 I3 is equal to, what is 36 plus 72, 6 plus 2 8, 3 plus 10, so it becomes 108, right? 108. This equation is divisible by 6, right? So I can divide, so I'm going to divide this equation by 6, so it will become 3I2 minus I3 is equal to, this is nothing but 17, right? Let me see, 6 1s are 6 7s are 6 8s are, so it's 18, so sorry, it's 18, right? 18. So you get 3I2 minus I3 is equal to 18. This is the equation of mesh 2. This is the equation for mesh 1. This is the equation for mesh 2, right? Now I'm going to write the equation for mesh 3. Equation for mesh 3, right? So in this mesh 3, I3 is positive and the remaining currents are negative. Remaining currents means only I2 is there, right? So I2 touches only this one over here. So it's just nothing but minus 6 I2. And what about I3? I3 touches this 6 ohm, this 3 ohm, and this 2 ohm. 6 plus 3, 9, 9 plus 2, 11. So plus 11 I3, okay, is equal to, and this I3 is flowing into the 9 volt. It is flowing into the positive terminal, which means this positive terminal is not generating current, it is opposing the current. Therefore, it is minus 9, right? So minus 6 I2 plus 11 I3 is equal to minus 9, right? So from here I can find the value of I2 and I3. But according to the question, you need to find only I3. So I said to find the current and voltage across the 2 ohm resistor. And the voltage and the current across the 2 ohm resistor is I3. So simply find the value of I3, okay? Let me see. So I think I will, this is minus 6 I2, whereas this is 3 I2, right? 3 I2. So maybe I will multiply this equation with 2, right? I will multiply this equation with 2 so that these two terms will become equal, right? So if I multiply this equation with 2, this will become, let me write that here, this is equation 1, this is equation 2, multiplying equation 1 with 2, or you can use a calculator directly, it's your choice. Multiplying equation 1 with 2 and add with equation 2, so which means this is nothing but 6i2 minus 2i3 is equal to 18 into 2 is 36, right? 36. And the equation 2 is minus 6i2 plus 11i3 is equal to minus 9. So adding these two, these two terms will get cancelled, and here 11 minus 2 is 9, so you will have 9i3 is equal to, and what is 36 minus 9 is 27, right? 27. So therefore i3 is equal to 27 by 9, which is equal to 3 amperes. Therefore current through the 2 ohm resistor is 3 amperes. Let me write that. Okay, current through the 3 ohm resistor is equal to 3 amperes. And what about no 3 or 2 ohm resistor? Current through the 2 ohm resistor is equal to 3 amperes, right? So now what is the voltage across the 2 ohm resistor? Therefore voltage across the 2 ohm resistor is nothing but the current across the 2 ohm resistor into resistor. V is equal to I into R, right? So it is nothing but 6 volt. So the current through the 2 ohm resistor is 3 amperes and the voltage across the 2 ohm resistor is 6 volt, right?